Let's take a look at what's going on, Pete, down in Tennessee, because we've talked about Nico, and Nico was a heck of a player. He did not have a great game against Ohio State, but he held out on spring ball. And if you've been watching us here, you know that he wanted more than the $2.4 million he was making. He wanted $4 million. And I think, Pete, maybe his dad, similar to Global Payments, took too big of a bite.
You know, these quarterbacks, it's really gotten out of hand, John, with the quarterbacks, and in college and in the NFL, let's be honest. And how about what's going on with Trey Lance? Now, John, Trey Lance is a really good athlete, a really great young man who didn't play very much, didn't play more than a season of plays at North Dakota State before he got drafted. And when he got drafted, San Francisco 49ers went absolutely out of their minds, John, on what they decided to do to be able to trade up to the third pick in the draft to be able to get him, right? So I bring that up because I think it's really interesting going off of that and what might happen with Cam Ward with Tennessee. And if I'm Tennessee, which is what they've been doing, John, they've been sitting there not talking about trading it at all. They're saying, we're taking Cam Ward. Come get us if you want, but we're going to take Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is by far the best quarterback in this draft. I think there are some quarterbacks not far behind him, but I do think he's the best quarterback in this draft. So does he end up being kind of the Trey Lance, where here's what San Francisco did, John. So Trey Lance is 6'4", 225 pounds. He's athletic as hell, and they moved up all the way up. And so they traded a first round in 2021, first round in 2022, a first round in 2023, and a third round pick in 2022. That's what they traded to get up from where they were to be able to ensure that they're going to get this kid. Then all of a sudden it doesn't turn out so well. So he goes to the Cowboys. He has played a grand total played in 12 games in his career so far. He has started 5 games so far. Today, he's now going to be a LA Charger. And I'll tell you why I think that's a good thing, John. I think Jim Harbaugh is the right coach to be able to take Trey Lance and say, hey, look, you're a great athlete. You're a great player. You've got great integrity. You've got a wonderful family out of Southwest Minnesota and Marshall, Minnesota. You're a great kid, played up in North Dakota State. You've got some championships under your belt. And you know what? We really, really want you. And that's what they're going to do. Well, my question to you, John, is do you take, in this year's draft with Tennessee, do you take Cam Ward? I think you do if nobody ends up giving you enough. But are you going to sit there and listen to some of these crazy type trades that might happen? Because there's a lot of teams out there that need a quarterback. And I'll tell you, not too far away is the New York Giants. And how much are they in love with Cam Ward? Can they make a trade like that? I don't like any of these big trades. I don't think any of them have ever truly worked. The Herschel Walker trade and some of these kind of things, the Trey Lance trade. But do you think somebody like the Giants falls into that trap and panics and makes that trade? Do you think that happens this year?
It sure could, Pete. And they're doing it the right way because, you know, this is, as those others that Pete mentioned, folks, you have to act like you absolutely would not trade Herschel Walker. Oh, I absolutely would not trade my third pick in the draft. No way, no how, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's how you get value. That's how you play poker. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, when you're playing poker, you've got to be able to bluff. Mm-hmm. And apparently this Amy, who's the daughter of Bud Adams, Pete, and I know you know that name because he is the owner, was the owner still, of the Houston Oilers. If you remember Earl Campbell and all the great players that came out of Houston, the Matthews brothers and so forth, Pete. You know, that one big tackle, that one big mean tackle. Was it Bruce Matthews or whatever?
Yeah.
The father of, you know, some of the other great players. Yeah. Well, so this has been in the family for a long time. The head coach has to be, and the GM have to be on the same page as the owner. Nope, we ain't trading. We are not going to trade. We have our pick and we're going to take it. You know how I know they haven't done that yet, Pete? Because if you have the number 1 pick, you could sign them now. You don't even have to wait for the draft. You know that. I know that. You don't have to wait for the draft. And it's happened in the past. So I don't think they're as in love with Cam Ward or whomever it is that they want to take. They want to push it all the way to Green Bay. And on draft day, which will be happening in Lambeau Field, folks, on ESPN, when that's going on, I will bet, and I'm going to have to put this bet on Clashy, Pete, that they trade the pick.
Yep.
And somebody finally, takes the bluff and says, okay, 2 number ones. I'll give you my number 1 this year. You trade down this many spots. I'll give you my number 1 next year. And then I'm also going to throw in this bag of balls. But I think that's going to happen, Pete. So keep an eye on it, folks. They're bluffing, but they're doing a great job of it by not saying anything but, yep, we're just taking them. We're taking them. We're taking them. But they haven't done it yet.
I think the other side of the coin too, John, is I think Tennessee has so many holes that it would be really smart for them to basically play this game, but also make that trade because they have too many holes to fill. It's not just a team that all they need is a quarterback and they're ready to go. That's not who they are. They need a lot of different positions, and I think they know that. So I think there will be a trade there as well if they get enough. They obviously, if somebody tries to lowball them, it's like they're going to look at them and go, you know what? We're actually going to take them then. The hell with you. All right, next up, Major League Baseball, John. I wanted to bring this up because you and I this week have already been talking about Aaron Judge, which the guy's unbelievable. His just sheer size and what he means to Major League Baseball right now, I think is huge. And Shohei Ohtani, same story. Big, huge guy, extremely athletic. He hit a 448-foot home run yesterday, not too bad. And then Judge decides, you know what, you're not the only guy who can do that. I'm going to hit my 7th home run of the year. So he piled right on top of it. John, Judge is playing out of his mind, by the way. I mean, his batting average is over 400. He's got 7 home runs. He's got 21 RBIs, and he's got 27 hits. This guy is absolutely amazing. And both these two teams are in a pretty good spot already. Now, the Dodgers are a little behind. They got a little bit more competitive group out there on the West Coast, but they've got 34 home runs already this year, which is number 1 in Major League Baseball. Ohtani's a big piece of that, by the way. And then Yankees are sitting at number 2. They've got 33 home runs already this year. So, we've talked about it a little bit. I just thought I'd throw it out to you, John. It looks like this year is a little bit different where the teams that are spending the big bucks are actually getting big rewards, which hasn't really happened much in baseball for a while. And the Mets are still the highest paid. But when you look at what's going on with the Yankees and the Dodgers, it looks like that money's actually been worth the spend of what those teams have been able to do this year. And these two guys, I say it again, if they're anywhere near where you live and you want to go to a baseball game, you want to go see the Yankees, you want to go see the Dodgers. It's just a must. You might hate them, but damn, they're good. These two players are unreal.
Yep, and they are worth the money.
Yeah.
And, one of the things that I think Pete and I would both say about baseball players, there's no such thing as load management. They play 162 games. Yeah. Now, does a player occasionally sit out? Yes, absolutely. But these guys, traveling as much as they do and playing double headers. When was the last time the NBA played a double header, Pete?
Yeah.
Never. So, yeah, Pete's right. When Ohtani hits a 448-foot home run, granted, he did that, Pete, I think, where was he? Was he in Colorado when he did it? I can't remember. He was. First inning against the Rockies, but he was at Dodger Stadium. So if he was in Denver, 448, yeah, a lot of people have hit, big home run hitters have hit them over 400 in Denver because the air's thinner. Yeah. All of a sudden, you're in smoggy old LA where that ball has to fight its way through the filth to get out there. I'd say, Pete, that was one that, usually you had a flight attendant on something that flies that far.
Yeah, had he been in Colorado, that ball would have gone 500.
Yep.